It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Today we've got a beer from Little Bang Brewing Company, and it's a can of their Road Tripper Double West Coast IPA, coming in at 8.1% ABV in a 375 milliliter can. There's a look at the can. Looks absolutely fantastic. Without further ado, let's get it out into a glass and see what we get. Many thanks to Mick in Australia for sending us this beer. I'm really excited to get into this one. Here's my glass I've chosen for tonight. Love a West Coast IPA. Love a double West Coast IPA just as much, if not a tad more. So we have good levels of carbonation, 2-finger whitehead, golden amber coloured beer in the glass. Let's get the aroma. Oh yeah, it smells really good. It's that kind of dankness of a American West Coast double IPA, but with a it's what's the word? What I've used it in the past. It's like a menacing. That's the word, like a menacing aroma, because you're almost like you're getting your nose in. It's dank. You're really kind of like filling your nostrils, and it's very fruity. It's very biscuity as well, if I'm perfectly honest. Almost like a nuttiness to it, but you know with a beer like this that all of the hop, all of the bitterness, all of the flavour is kind of locked in to the beer. So I'm just about to give it a taste. It's a collaboration with Collective Arts Brewing Company, and I think it was brewed for the Adelaide Beer and Barbecue Festival in Australia. Cool. Right, let's get in, guys. Cheers. Citrusy, grapefruity, lovely bitterness on the back end, but it's quite balanced. I'm going to be perfectly honest with this beer. There's a certain level of balancedness, a certain level of balance with this beer where there's quite a bit of kind of biscuity, bready, nutty malt flavours coming through too. I don't know if this was intentional. They wanted that kind of biscuity and breadiness in. Well, of course it's intentional, because they've produced a beer with a little bit of red malt in it, a little bit of amber malt going on, or malts that produce an amber colour. You could almost say that looks like an English best bitter. But then, as I'm speaking, that has all passed a long time ago, that flavour. And it's all hops, hops, hops. Bitterness, bitterness, bitterness. Hops, hops, hops. Here we go. Let's talk about them there hops then. So, grapefruit, passion fruit, mango, citrus, lemon, fleshy blood orange, whacking great bitterness on the back end, a real good push of bitterness. But again, I'll mention it. I talked about a balanced beer. If you want me to talk about or tell you about a balanced beer, if you're new to the channel, then you will get a certain amount of sweetness from the malt over here, and then you get a certain amount of bitterness on the back end with the hops over here. So malt over here, sweetness, bitterness from the hops over here. And if a brewer does it right, if a brewer really does want to go for that balance, I'm going to say this is not completely balanced, because that would be unfair on the brewer and say that it's not really a West Coast double IPA. It certainly is. It's certainly going to balance this way. So more hops, more bitterness on the beer, but a nice amount of malt to come through just to help kind of carry that bitterness, just to help balance that bitterness off a little bit. It's nice, it's a really nice beer. And at 8.1% ABV, it's drinking really, really well. It's a little bit like walking through a French village and you can smell the baguettes cooking in the morning, that really warm, bready aroma and flavour. If anybody has been to France, or you don't really need to go to France these days, I go to my local supermarket and they have hot baguettes in the morning if you're lucky. But, you know, the ones in France are proper baguettes. They're beautiful and artisan and tasty. But anyway, if you walk through a French, I'm picturing a scene here for you. Lovely French village. You get that lovely French bread, biscuity, kind of bready, nutty smell coming through. And then you've just been slapped round the face. You're about to eat that biscuity bread. You've had a mouthful of it and somebody smacked you around the face with a bag of oranges. It's never going to happen. It's never going to happen, but it's a very good description for this beer. Right, Little Bang Brewing Company. Ooh, big description on here. Probably a bit too big for me to read, so I'm going to ask you guys if the video, if this can focuses, or the writing on the can, if it's focused and you want to have a read, pause the video right now, have a little read, and I'm going to get on with to rate this beer. I'm going to rate this beer now, and they're in South Australia, I think. SA, independent brewery. Good stuff. Burping back hops as we speak. Road Tripper, double West Coast IPA, 8.1% ABV, from Little Bang Brewing Company, and of course Collective Arts Brewing Company. I like that enough to give it a Stone the Crows 8 out of 10. It's an 8 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. Please put your comments in the comments box, subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews, give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom! Cheers!